Well, hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCalSabre here, and it is Saturday. Time to hear what music CDs and vinyl I listened to this week. And since this is the last week of May, I'm going to combine. I have been doing the weekly and then the monthly wrap up. I'm going to combine it. The monthly wrap up will follow what I did this week, and during the monthly wrap up, you'll see what I liked each week, not in total. So let's get her going here. And before we get started, though, if you haven't done so yet, please go down there and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and help the channel grow. Put some remarks down there. Let me know about the albums and what you think of this, what I listened to this week, and what you think about when I do the wrap up. So the first one I listened to this week was another one by the 13th Floor Elevators, which I had picked up two, and I liked it, the psychedelic rock from the late 60s, early 70s. Okay, and so I picked this one up. The last time I was down to Dr. Strange Records, when I picked up the other one, they had two, so I picked up both of them. All right, and this one came out in '68, and it's classified psychedelic rock. When I did a little more checking into it, found out something was kind of strange. It's advertised as a live album. Let's take a look at the label first before I lose track of what I'm doing here. It's a standard blue label that the other ones have came on also by an international artist recording. Well, anyway, when I'm listening to it, the album started off with crowd noise, but real loud crowd noise. The kind of crowd that you would get noise after a great song, not at the beginning. Then after the end of the song, that happened again. It was like the kind of stuff you would get after an encore. Well, doing a little bit more checking, yeah, it was advertised as being a live album. But what this was a compilation of songs from their other tapes and albums, and the crowd music was overdubbed. I knew that something was wrong with that crowd. So I've been to a lot of concerts. I never heard a crowd cheering that loud after each song. So anyway, that kind of takes the live away from it, doesn't it? So that was 13th Floor Elevators Live, released in 1968. But it's in the collection. I like the music. Once the crowd noise wasn't interfering with it. And so we're going to continue on down here and see what we got going next. Oh, I see it now. Okay. This one here was one I picked up in the Whatnot auction. It's in pretty good shape. And it's undercover. I have it right side up. Yeah, I have it right undercover by the Rolling Stones. This was a 1983 album. It was their 17th studio album. And Undercover was their first release of all new recordings in the 80s. Tattoo You in 81 was a compilation of outtakes. There was tension in the group while they were making this, as it tried to decide on which direction the band was going to go. It would end up being the first Rolling Stones album in more than a decade to miss reaching #1 in the U.S. charts, peaking at #4. And that's see the thing here. That's purple or pink in other versions. The colors of the stickers are different. There is the back. Yeah, was it good? Yeah, I liked it. There's one really far out song on side 2. It's called "Too Much Blood," and that talks about like Jeffrey Dahmer and people like that, killing people and stuff like that. I didn't quite understand what that was all about. I didn't do a lot of checking into it either to try to find out. I just thought it was very, very weird. And here it is on the Rolling Stones album label. In pretty good shape from the Whatnots. So the week is going along here pretty good. Some strange stuff going on here with too much blood on this one, and the so-called live on the other one. The next one I did was and I didn't even make no notes on this. I don't even know if I got it in here. I did. Okay, here it is. I bought this one on the Whatnot sale, but from a different one. I came across it by accident, and it's the Stranger Things. I'll take this. I wanted to show you this here. I took it off of the original, put it. I'll take this off for get rid of this. Stranger Things, the music from the IP, yes, IP, which I really like, and my family really like. And so I picked this up. What's crazy, it was like a 5-second or 10-second bid, and I got it for $10, sealed, brand new. Pretty cool stuff. Got the Police on it, the Clash, the Bangles, Echo and the Bunnymen, Corey Hart, Duran Duran, Olivia Newton-John, the Psychedelic Furs, Jim Croce, Devo, Bon Jovi, lots of great stuff on here. Cyndi Lauper. It's a double album. And then there's a gatefold. You can see everything. And I think it had some nice inner sleeves on it, but let's double check just to make sure. No, it didn't have an inner sleeve, but it did have this in case somebody wanted to put it on their wall or frame it. Stranger Things photo, or whatever you want to call it, for the collectors. And I guess I am a collector, but I don't collect all of the wall art and stuff like that. Some wall art I would like to have, but some of it's really very expensive. All right, let's not fight with that one. Okay, and I'll show you what the label looked like. It's pretty cool. It's kind of goes along with the colors of the what you call it, the album cover and that. So, besides liking the IP, waiting for the next season to come out patiently, I really like this. This is a very nice compilation in my collection. I enjoyed that. All right, so we want to CDs next. As I do, I'm getting down there. There's only 2 left. One of them was just recently added this week. When we get to it, it's still on the shelf. There's one from the old, and then one I added this week. And when I play it in a week or so, I'll let you know what that was. But the first one I listened to was High Hopes from Bruce Springsteen. It was his 2014. It was his 18th studio album. It went to the top of the charts in 11 countries and was Springsteen's 11th #1 album in the United States, a record surpassed only by the Beatles and Jay-Z. It was his 10th #1 in the UK, putting him on par with the Rolling Stones and U2. That's quite an accomplishment. It was his first studio album composed completely of covers, outtakes, and reimagined versions of songs from past albums. I really enjoyed this album. I enjoyed it a lot. And, I guess I'm along with the ride with all those people that said it was #1 and everything. And we'll see how it rates for the weekly choices, though. Got a nice little book in here. those that savor the reading of all of these. If I wasn't reading 2 books at the same time, I would probably read more of this stuff. But those 2 books, I get daily reading of almost an hour on one book, and the next day the other book, and then back and forth. It takes me a while. So this would really be cutting into that time, because there's a lot of writing in these books, in these things, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure that most of the Bruce Springsteen fans appreciate this, giving you information on things. And we'll give you a look at what the CD looks like. There it is, High Hopes. Bruce Springsteen. Good CD. Check it out on your streaming services. Spotify or Amazon, whatever you like, whatever you use. If you use stuff, but check it out. I enjoyed it, and apparently so did a lot of other people. All right, the second CD of the week was one that I couldn't remember how many I actually had in my collection, but I'll talk about that in a second. And the CD is Glad All Over by the Wallflowers. Okay, this was their 6th studio album, and I really liked it. I enjoyed this one. Jacob, after years later, said that creating this album created tension within this group. Also, it must have been the theme of the week. Create some tension. Really pretty good. I really like this one too. It's an alternative rock. I was wondering what I got, because I can't remember everything. So I went and I took a look. This is their 6th album, and counting this one, I have 5 of them in my collection. So not only like the Wallflowers for this one, I must like them for a long time now. Guys think, oh, you can't remember. Remember, guys, I was in a coma in 2009, so a lot of my short-term memory is shot. And so it's really nice to get to hear these things again. They have a little booklet in here. How's all doing? Are you guys got the Wallflowers? Got anything by them? Okay. That Jacob Dylan? Probably must be. He would be on the first page, wouldn't he? These are the lyrics in this one. All right, well, when we get back to the back, that's a page with some credits on it in the back. And then it came on the Red Columbia label. So, really good. 2 CDs this week that I really liked. I mean, really, did they get replayability? Yes. They would be in the replayability list if I had one. All right. Now, the last thing I did for the week, of course, is the last thing off I've been taking is a album that has already been in my collection. That means it's been listened to once or many times, and it's recorded. It's in the session. And this one was logged as number 18 in my collection. I'll show you that number here in a second. That was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. See the sticker up here? Well, why can't I get it? There it is. So in the old day when I used to number these, I don't take the stickers off anymore because this would do more damage than that. This was Elton's 7th studio album. It was a strong commercial success. It's a double LP. and it reached at #1 on the Billboard 200. It has sold more than 20 million copies worldwide and is regarded as John's magnum opus. You know, some of the songs: A Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, man. The Ballad of Don Bailey, Dirty Little Girl, Your Sister Can't Rock and Roll, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. All good stuff on here. It is a, I don't know what, it's not called a gatefold because it opens up 3 times, so we'll try to get it all, so you can see all. Okay, here's prior to the last old one. We'll go this way. Okay. Then we had one more fold. That was this one here. Pretty cool stuff. They really used to put a lot into their products back in the day. This was 1973, and this is when this one came out. This was a 73 release. I'll show it to you. The comes on the, I don't know, I call it the Rainbow MCA. I don't know what it really is. I don't know what people call it. Let's see, you can see the rainbow, and it's the MCA Records. All right. Now we're going to do something we haven't done before. We're going to continue on, but now we're going to be doing the end of the month wrap up for my music. And that's going to tell you what I like the most on each week. Now remember, it's only that week. It could be the week, and there's some problems with the way I pick those things. So let's go. Let me bring up the this other. All right, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. This is the very first week. It was still in April for 3 days. Then I went into May, so I included them in here. And my favorites are the ones that for the week that are highlighted. Dark Side of the Moon, that was the 50th anniversary collection one that has a nice, really, it's clear vinyl on 2 LPs and with nice graphics on them and so forth. And it played really, really good. And the other one was the Essential Johnny Cash CD from 2002. There were some other things that were really, really good in here. You know, I kind of like They Only Come Out at Night by Edgar Winter from the old days. I also like the Ohio Players, or the Black Keys newest one. And so, but I had to pick out 2. So that now the film is now, well, let's say that I go on into the next week and I pick something else, but I really liked, we'll just for the second, we really like this one better. Do I change it or not? So for right now, I'm just staying with these are the best for the week. All right. Then we went into week 2. We had Live at Racket, the RSD one from the Rolling Stones. We had F and Up by Neil Horst and Craig, the RSD 2024 one. We had Closer to Home by Grand Funk Railroad. Then we had Valleys of Neptune by Jimi Hendrix, a CD. I really like that. That was really good. Check that out if you're a Hendrix fan or a guitar fan. Then Classic Quadrophenia, you know, there's Pete Tom. This was a really good album, but I'm not really too much into concept albums. And it was a story. And then Hot August Night, Neil Diamond at the Greek Theater. That was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool album. Such a variety of his music, you know, and he's not like you see him now with the tux and the little bow tie and as a crooner. He was a rocker back in those days. So that's kind of cool to see that. So that was Valleys of Neptune and Hot August Night. And let's say anybody Closer to Home could have probably been running number 3 in that week. All right, the next week, I started with Record Store Day releases from 2024. Osmium Deluxe by Parliament, then Live It, WCOZ 77. This is the Talking Heads. I am a Talking Heads fan, and it's one of their 1977 performances recorded on 45 speed limited edition. I really liked it. It's a nice collection to the edition. Then on that last record store day release, which was my number one pick of the year that I wanted on record store day, was Pyramid Works in Progress by the Alan Parsons Project, limited edition. It's it's like the notes and everything that were made while they were working on the album, the Pyramid album, and it contains demos, rough mixes, and Eric Woolson songwriting diary versions of the 9 tracks that appear in the Pyramid album. 6 of these tracks were previously unreleased, but it was pretty cool. And they actually had different names for the songs that came out for final. So nice addition to anybody that likes the Alan Parsons Project as much as I do. I think there's only 2 albums left that I don't have. The most recent one called oh boy, never mind, can't remember. All right, and then I listened to the CD Peace and Trail by Neil Young, his 36th studio album. And the songs find Young commenting on technological and social change and the need for people to drive that change for positive. Initial reviews were mixed. I liked it. And I like the lyrics. I like his thoughts on certain things and that. I'm not going to go out and march down the road with him about it, but I liked it. Then I listened to the last CD of the week was Blue and Lonesome by the Rolling Stones. This was a 2016. This was a studio album, their first album to feature only cover songs. This is their first studio. It was their first studio release since 2005. It came out in 2016. And it sold well. It hit number 1 in 11 countries and number 4 in the U.S. And it was awarded a Grammy for the Best Traditional Blues album in 2018. The band's first Grammy in 23 years. I like this one a lot. You can see that by the yellow highlighting. As you guys know, I like blues a lot also. All right, here we go. Going down to the next one. And we started out with Love and Death by Alice Cooper in 71. Then we went to the greatest hits from the Steve Miller Band, a reissue of the 78 release. Then we went to what's the first one, the one I like for the week is We Sold Our Soul to Rock and Roll, Black Sabbath. This is a 2021 reissue of the 76 release. It's 2 LPs on green translucent, and it was actually authorized without the band's awareness by their previous manager, Patrick Meehan, and the band made absolutely no money whatsoever from the release. It's a compilation of their first 4 albums. So I have that, and I have a volume 4, and I have Sabotage in the collection. So I don't know how much more Black Sabbath I will be putting in the collection, but this added some good stuff into it. So that was We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll by Black Sabbath. Then I went on Thick as a Brick by Jethro Tull. I like this. This is kind of a strange. It's all one song. There's the whole first side and the whole second side is all one song, but it's continued on the second side. I had a problem with the quality of it, and I've identified this as needing an upgrade for my collection because I do like it. And then I went on to the CDs. I got El Camino by the Black Keys. I was going, wow, the Black Keys. I just recently picked up an album by them too. But this goes all the way back to 2011, the CD. Okay, and it was their 7th studio album in 2011. I was going, where was I with these guys? And it draws praise from popular types of music in the 50s and the 70s. It's like rock and roll, glam rock, rockabilly, surf, rock and soul. Went to number 2 in the U.S. and number 6 in England. I liked it. I had a lot of fun. You can see how much I liked it by the yellow. Then we had Lightning Bolt, the Pearl Jam CD, is their 10th studio album. Not going to be on my replayability chart. I didn't care for it too much. Then I looked at Piano Man by Billy Joel. It was already in my album, a 1980 repress of the 73 album, which was his second studio album. The album emerged from legal difficulties with Joel's former label, Family Productions, and ultimately became his first breakthrough album. Really, really good songs on here. This week, I would say that probably, that would have been a good battle for second place with Piano Man might have been in there, and so would the Greatest Hits by Steve Miller. So we're going on down to this last week that we just finished in May, which I just finished doing today. And as you can see, I like Glad All Over, the Wallflowers, and I liked Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, the Bellows. High Hopes, that was tough picking up between High Hopes and Glad All Over, to be honest with you. And so that was it for for May and this week. So again, last time, thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. SoCalSabre saying, take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other and stay safe.